The fans, the media, former players, pretty much everybody over this entire offseason has called the Georgia tight ends elite. You can add one more person to that list that thinks that, and that's Brock Bowers, at least publicly. Brock Bowers and you know what? Actually, I was the one that asked him this last week when we had a media availability with him and got to speak to him officially for the first time ever, actually, since you can't talk to Georgia football freshmen. The media can't talk to them, at least in an official capacity through the communications department. But Bowers, I asked him, one or two words, describe this tight end room. And he said elite. It seems to me that's what we're going towards, is some crazy tight end room. I've talked about this in practice reports, what it looks like as far as an order with them. The thing about that is they're going to shell more than one out at the same time. Now, not every single play is going to have two or three of them or even four of them, but they're going to, I believe, like we saw last year with having more than one of them out there. You know, you saw John Fitzpatrick and Brock Bowers out there at the same time. You saw John Fitzpatrick and Darnell Washington. You saw whatever combination of that. You saw Brett Seether out there sometimes. They're going to shell out a lot of them. They're all going to be on the field. All right, Oscar Delp is going to get playing time. Eric Gilbert is going to be in there. Bowers, is their primary weapon. At least he was last year. Led the team in receiving yards. Almost had 1,000 scrimmage yards as a tight end, as a freshman tight end, and 14 total touchdowns. They're going to use all four of them, I think. And I think they're going to be really creative. And is there someone better than Todd Monken that's going to figure that out? I mean, look at what Todd Monken did last year. He figured out how to change his offense from JT Daniels to changing it to where it works for Stetson Bennett, and they still scored a lot of points and they still won a lot of games. So with Georgia this year, the tight ends are probably the best position group they have. Some people might tell you that offensive line's looking really good. I don't know the metrics on that. And we haven't, there's still two question marks who's going to be the guards. But the tight ends are elite. I agree with Brock Bowers. This is a very, very good position group. It's a fantastic position group that you're going to see used in a versatility of ways. Ryan Kelly from DAWGSTRUCTION here talking about Georgia's tight ends. Make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. Make sure you're checking out our preview magazine. Links for that are down below. Make sure you're going to dogpost.com, of course. So someone said this on DAWGPOST the other day, and it's something that I've been thinking about recently. I can't remember who said it, but Bowers might not be, and it's even possible he's not the leader in the position group, but I don't think it's crazy to say that Bowers ends up not leading the team in receiving yards this year. And that is not to say he's not their best weapon, but, now there's a whole season. Defenses might be keyed in on him a little bit, and the plethora of weapons they have is really special. He might not be on the field as much as he was last year because of the rotation of guys they have, not only in the field, but behind me right here. So he may just not be on the field as much. There may not be as many touches for him. Now, they are going to get Brock Bowers the ball because he is that good with the ball in his hands. You've seen it out of the backfield, from the slot, tight, wide. You've seen it all. Brock Bowers is really good with the ball in his hands. But I don't know if he'll have as good of a season as he will last year because of the presence of those other guys and because of just how dynamic I think this offense really is. I do think it's a good offense. Now, I don't know if it'll be the best offense in the country. I think Alabama and Ohio State have a lot of firepower. You could see USC have a lot of firepower with Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley over there and Jordan Addison. So, yeah, those offenses definitely could be better than Georgia's, but I do think Georgia's is up there with them. And part of that is because of the tight end room. So if Bowers doesn't end up, Georgia fans, I want to tell you this right now, he might not. And that's not a problem. The same way where in the same sentiment that if the offense is the reason why the team is really good this year, it doesn't matter as long as they're winning games, right? As long as they're scoring touchdowns and winning football games, it doesn't matter who the leading receivers. It might not be Bowers. It really might not. He's probably my prediction just because I just think he's the best with the ball in his hands on this entire team. That's what it comes down to me. Like when he may not be the best route runner. He may not be the fastest. I mean, he's definitely not faster than a couple of those receivers. and he's not the best blocker, but with the ball in his hands, good things happen. And it's a game tape thing for me. Nakobe Dean fell a little bit because of some concerns with his combine performance, some injury, blah, blah, blah. Game tape speed with Nakobe Dean. So that's what I harp on when it comes to that kind of thing. Now, Oscar Delp's going to get his. He's going to come in. Oscar Delp is probably the smoothest route runner of all of them, and he's 6'5". Very, very fluid route runner. Washington, they're going to put them out there. They're going to use them at the same time. And it is a competition. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let the coach speak distract you. It is a competition for touches with the receivers. All right? If a tight end's out there, a receiver or a running back isn't. All right, so it is a competition. And that's why Monken made that joke. If we ran 4 tight ends all at once, there'd be a lot of receivers in the portal. Yeah, he's not wrong. So they're not going to do that all the time, but it will happen. I think just because of the pressure of it happening, it's very similar to, in my opinion, Jordan Davis getting that rushing touchdown, getting those rushing attempts against Charleston Southern. There was pressure for that almost from the fans and the media. I think you could see a similar thing with these tight ends. Now, at the end of the day, these coaches don't really care what the outside noise is, and they're going to call the plays they want to call. But yeah, no, I think that's definitely a realistic thing, is them being shelled out there all 4 at once. And it would be difficult to stop. It really would be difficult to stop. That's what the reason why we say this is the best tight end room in college football is because how deep it goes with their talent, and because they have the best tight end in Brock Bowers. So he just is. He's better than the Notre Dame guy. He's better than the South Carolina kid, Bell, and then the other 1 or 2 that people said they're not as good as Brock Bowers. Now, in the NFL, it might be different. Who knows? But right now, I mean, Bowers was sensational, and I think Darnell Washington, from what I've seen in practice, looks to be healthier than he was previously. I know that he's gotten in better shape than he was in previous years. Delp looks good, and Gilbert's getting there, man. Gilbert's the one you gotta watch out for. I'm telling you, because he's probably the most impressive of the 4, just from a holistic standpoint, speed, size, ability, route running. He's probably the most impressive one. So yeah, Brock Bowers said it. They're elite. I say it too. I know you guys think the same thing. This tight end room is ridiculous. That's what I've been saying this whole time. See you at the site, dawgpost.com, guys.